my friends, and welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Today we are doing what I have affectionately dubbed jungle maintenance. That is right. We are at the end of July here in North Carolina. And dear heavens, y'all, you go away for an extended amount of time and you come back to your garden, at least I do, and I'm like, what has happened? Things have been growing like crazy. Today I'm going to walk you through and just kind of show you how I am maintaining my late July garden here in North Carolina, a zone 8A, to give me color, texture, interest throughout the entire season. And I'm going to do some things that are going to prepare me and set me up for great success next year. It is late July, and Jerry and I, we were in Ohio for like one part of a week for Cultivate. Then we came home for a couple of days, turned around and left again to go to Michigan to Spring Meadow Nursery, which of course is the home to the Proven Winter Color Choice shrubs. We were there for like almost a whole week, and I came back and I was like, because while we were gone, it rained. And if you know anything about the South, when you have heat and then you get rain, your plants go crazy. So while I also am at the point of the year where I just want to like rip everything out because it's driving me crazy, I'm not. A little bit of maintenance and edit is going to make a huge difference, is going to calm me down and set us up for great success. So what we're going to do is we are here on the patio and we are going to start back here. What we're going to do first is we are going to do a little bit of maintenance on our deck boxes. I have not touched these boxes since I planted them. It was later than I typically do. Can we just take a moment and appreciate though this brand new Super Bell for next year and the beautiful butterfly that is enjoying it. So from this perspective, we're looking pretty good, right? I mean, we've got some color. The Super Bells are just loving life. The angel face white is doing good. Salvia, lemon coral sedum, all the things are doing good. But on the other side, y'all, it's getting a little woolly. See what I mean? Like the angel face is getting a little floppy on me. We're not getting as much sun into some of the other annuals. So I am going to come in here and simply I'm going to clean up. If you have watched us for any length of time, you also know that there have been quite a few summers where I come in here with the hedge trimmers and just level everything. I am not going to do that. I am going to be very specific and on what I am going to prune back. So what I am not going to touch really are my caladiums. The White Wonder, my gosh, y'all, doing great. Love them. Lemon coral sedum, doing really well. My guara is doing good. I just need to come in here and deadhead it. The main things that I want to focus on are going to be my salvia. I'm going to selectively deadhead the older blooms because you can see I've got tons of pollinators, which I love, want to support them for our gardens. Then we're also going to tackle the angel face white. So we're going to come in here and just deadhead and kind of pinch back them a little bit. Like this one, this is one plant right here. Kind of gotten floppy, so has next door neighbor. And so we're going to clean these up. And then after I prune and maintain, then we're going to go ahead and feed this bed with some water soluble fertilizer and the continuous release fertilizer because we've had lots of rain. I'm pruning back and I want to feed these plants so that they flush out with new growth because new growth means new flowers. So we're going to do that as well. We've got some gardenias we are going to prune, and then we're going to see what the temperature in the day feels like because there's another bed that I really want to take care of, and we will see how far I can go as far as handling the heat and humidity here at the end of July in North Carolina. So what I'm going to do is I've got my pruners also. It'd be interesting to see how this pops up on camera, but my hummingbirds are about to eat me out of house and home. So hopefully the camera will pick up some of those for you because we are having hummingbird wars like crazy, which I absolutely love. I can hear them peeping and zooming it all the way through. So we're just gonna come in here and do a little cleanup. I'll show you what it looks like here in just a second. The deck boxes have been edited and fertilized and maintained. Hopefully there is not a massive change in how the deck boxes look, but to my eye it is a little neater and tidier. Now over here is of course where I started, and I left some of the angel face white stalks on there. Y'all, these things, they respond so well to being pruned. So if they get floppy, if they have, you know, they're old, the stems, and those are the old blooms, just, you can Chelsea chop it. And that is what I did as we came around the deck boxes. I came through and just grabbed them up and just chopped them off. With my salvias, I was much more selective because, of course, the pollinators are loving these guys. But typically, I don't know if you can see, but you have a stem and then you'll have like the main bloom comes up the center and then there's two side shoots. Obviously, since this blooms first, it's going to go south first. So a lot of times when I'm coming in, I'm pruning out that middle one. But I kept, of course, a lot of the blooms, but chopped off all of the old ones. The pollinators are going to still have plenty of food. They got plenty of food everywhere, my friends. But I still have some blooms. Did not touch the caladiums. The caladiums are doing great. Leave them alone. I did go ahead and prune back the salvia. So this salvia is a new introduction for next year from Proven Winners. It's a 2027 annual introduction. It's a beautiful pink. It has not been a heavy flowering annual for me, so I went ahead and just chopped all of probably the top third of the plant off, trying to get it to flush back out and give me new foliage and hopefully some new flowers. Same thing with my guara. This is the Camellias Petite Pink. It will be a perennial for me, and so just going through and again just kind of chopping it off at the top will encourage new growth. So yeah, the super bells I did not touch, left those alone, and then came in with that continuous release of fertilizer, sprinkled some of that down as best I could between the plants, and then I used 10 gallons of the water soluble fertilizer. So I like to use my 5-gallon bucket. I make up, in this case, I had 2 different buckets, and then used my water soluble little bucket as my pourer and just poured it in there. Now, you may say, well, Jimmy, you just talked about how you've had lots of rain and plus it's hot and I've heard you're not supposed to fertilize during the heat. Y'all, the plants need food. These are in containers and they need food. The irrigation runs every day, and so over time the fertilizer and the nutrients will leach out. Then we've had all this rain, so they've got to have food. Food equals flowers. The continuous release is released by temperature and when it gets wet. So that's going to fill in the gaps for me doing the water soluble. This time of the year, I am the world's worst with water-soluble fertilizer. It's just so hot, I'm tired, I'm over it, and so honestly, I probably won't water-soluble fertilize these again. If I do, maybe it'll be one more time in the season, because these are high-performing, low maintenance, and then using that continuous release really does fill in the gaps for me. So adding that food with that water-soluble gives the plants the nutrients that it needs, and because the soil was moist, it doesn't just run straight through. So there you go. All right, moving on, let's tackle caladium, not caladiums. I want to show you caladiums. We're not going to do anything to them. I want to show you how amazing they look. But camellias and gardenias, I'm going to prune them, but there's a little asterisk by that, so make sure you pay attention. Along the porch, I have got, on each side of the steps, I have got a diamond Spire gardenia, and so we're going to tackle pruning that. We're going to talk about that in a minute. And then I also have the October Magic White Shishi Camellias. Now, October Magic White Shishi is an absolutely stunning full sun camellia. We are already getting our buds on the camellia, so I am super, super excited about that. The October Magic series, they are fall blooming, so they are sasanquas. So what I'm going to do is I repeat, do not want to come in here and chop off any stems that have my buds on them. These are the buds. I do not want to do that. What I am going to do in here is come in and just gently shape up the plant, because as you can see, I have got some wild hairs, and I just want to make it neat and tidy, so I'm going to be very, very selective. They bloom on old growth, so this is new growth. I am not going to get buds on these this year, so I can easily come in and just clip it back and just tidy up the plant. If you take your camellias, any camellia at this point in the season, basically we're in August, if you prune any camellia, you're going to cut off your flowers. Do not go in there with hedge trimmers and make it into a meatball. The only thing that I would say, the reason that you could do that is if you understand that you're going to lose all your flowers, but sometimes you got to prune when you got to prune because they're out of control. So there you go. Very selective. So let me do that first. Okay, my friends, so we got the camellias are gently pruned back. I'll show them to you here in just a second. So what we're going to do now is we're going to tackle the Diamond Spire Gardenias. Your gardenias are going to bloom on old growth. That means we need to prune them, if you need to prune them, at the end of their bloom cycle, but still have plenty of time to put on new growth and new buds for next year. We are the end of July, beginning of August here in North Carolina, and I am skirting the window of being a little at the appropriate time for doing it. But I am going to go ahead and bite the bullet and do it today, because if I don't do it today, then I'm gonna have to wait till next year. So just know, when you are pruning your camellias or your gardenias or any shrub that blooms on old growth, there is that optimal window before you are going to impede or cut off any blooms for next year. So what I want to do is basically shape this plant up. And so we're growing a little bit too far out, a little too far wide, and I want it to be more in that upright fashion that Diamond Spire is to be in. Yes, I have got some little buds and flowers on here. I'm going to sacrifice those for the longevity of the plant. So basically we're going to come in here is look, and I'm going to shape it, and I'm going to go up so that it gets good, strong growth on it. All right, my friends, we are done for today. I tell you, it's high noon. I got my hanky because, you know, Jenny in North Carolina, high noon into July, I am glistening. So let me show you what I did, and then we'll talk about some other stuff. How about that? The gardenias, y'all, they got more of a prune than I probably was anticipating, but once I go, I am just kind of, I have no mercy as far as pruning. So I really went ahead and took them back. I would say probably by half. There is still obviously tons of green growth. And so when I was pruning, optimally, right, you want to try to cut above where there is some green foliage. That way you have got, this is going to branch out and get nice and thick. Some of those stems were quite large, so I went ahead and grabbed my little, this is like a DeWalt electric pruner. Jackson got it for me. My gosh, y'all, I love this thing. Runs on a 20-volt battery. It is fantastic. It takes care of those really thick stems that are too much for your hand pruners. And then, of course, it just helps you. So if you have any, maybe you have some arthritis, or you have limited mobility in your hands, or for whatever reason, that little hand pruner is great to use. So you can see, got that all pruned up. And then of course the camellias, if I didn't tell you that I had pruned them, hopefully you would have no clue. Then I went ahead and just gently, selectively pruned them. In fact, this one over here, this very first one, I was going to go ahead and prune these limbs down here. But then once I got close, I saw that I have buds right there. And I was like, nope, they are staying. So if you see those little swells, those are your flower buds. You don't want to prune those. So I got everything nice and neat. As a side note, while we walk up here to look at the deck boxes, Emily is home between her working at the summer at school and before she goes back for her last semester. So can you tell? I mean, I think all parents kind of understand this. So she brought a bunch of laundry home, so she washed her rug, so it's out here drying. I have been, quote, house sitting her house plant, or babysitting her house plant this summer, so it is here. So, you know, when the kids come home from college, they bring their stuff with them. And then, of course, the deck boxes, they are complete as well. So why in the world do we do this? Why do we come out here and brave the heat and sweat and do all this stuff? Why not just let it be and we'll deal with it at the in the fall? Well, one, I can only stay in my house for so long. And two, I set realistic goals for myself because, as I said in the beginning, there's tons of stuff that I can do. There's tons of gardens that I can come in here and really kind of tidy up, edit, clean up. But it's lunchtime and I am drenched and I am exhausted. The heat makes my heart just like race. And so it is exhausting. And so I am pacing myself. So I am going to say, you know what? We are done for today. But just to give you like an update, so it wasn't maybe a month ago, I took out the plants, my spring annuals that were in these urns, and did a monoculture planting of the White Wonder Caladium. This is why I go for it, because these caladiums have filled in absolutely beautifully, like I knew that they would. They are on drip irrigation. When I say I've done nothing to them since I planted them, I have done nothing to them. They have handled the heat dome. They've handled the crazy thunderstorms. They are growing before my very eyes and are getting big and beautiful, and will continue to do that through my first frost and freeze. Same thing with the hanging baskets, right? So I did the same caladium in there. They too are doing great. All I do is just rotate them. I have swivel hooks up there at the top, and I just spin them around so that they get even growth, and have filled in so nicely. So we do this. We brave the heat, the humidity, the sun, the sweat, all of the things, because I want to maintain my garden. I want to just got dive bombed by some hummingbirds. I want to be able to walk outside and not have stress and anxiety because it's too cluttered and too overgrown, or whatever the case may be. So coming in here, doing these little things, setting realistic expectations for yourself and goals, and knowing when to say that's enough for today. And I have reached that point for today. So there you go. So I would encourage you, get out in your garden. Obviously, the earlier in the day, the better. And do something that just makes you feel productive and helps your garden move forward and be maintained. As always, we so appreciate you. Y'all have a great day. Stay hydrated, stay cool. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.